Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We're excited to welcome comedian and writer Jesus Trejo to our program today. Jesus has quite the 2022, but he has a bigger year coming up for 2023. He has his tour that's coming up, Uncomfortably Comfortable. Also, of course, he'll be writing for Season 2 of this Fool on Hulu. We're going to talk to him not only about his career, but also what it's been like for him to do what he loves and to share that with all of you. Jesus, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This is great. Good morning. How you
feeling?
Hey,
man, I appreciate you. I want to first of all talk about the work, because I think the thing is you have, and I noticed when I was prepping for this segment, that you have been able to do what you love, make people laugh, but I don't think people realize the work that goes into, especially the past few years that you've been able to have. What has it been like for you, Jesus, to be able to see how the hard work is definitely paying off for you?
Yeah, it's been great. I'm definitely trying to figure out how to make some money from it. That'll be cool. But no play. It's been great. I mean, when you're able to do what you love and pay your bills, it's great being able to take care of your loved ones and, you know, really focus on your craft, being able to tell jokes. I mean, my whole life purpose, I think, has been comedy in every shape, way, and form. It's like, yeah, it feels good, and it feels good to kind of like challenge myself to kind of do something new or, you know, constantly grow and develop, you know, my comedy, develop my, you know, stories, and, you know, I'm a storyteller, I'm a joke writer, and to be able to find those avenues means a lot, and it doesn't happen without the support of people, so thank you to everyone that supported me thus far last year, and, you know, we got a great, you know, upcoming tour schedule next year with Uncomfortably Comfortable tour, so anyone who wants to check out the new hour, come on out. We got a new hour of laughs ready for you.
And just the title of the tour for next year, it says a lot about also what you become known for. And that is you're not afraid to go there when it comes to putting yourself out there, talking about family, you know, some of the things that all of us can relate to. Have you always been that comfortable in your own abilities and in your own skin?
I've always been that guy who's uncomfortable. Like I'm so nervous. I'm actually such a nervous wreck all the time. I've never been able to shake the nerves of going on stage and that kind of thing, but somehow that uncomfortable space is comfortable for me because that's what I've done for the past 16 years. So as uncomfortable as it may be, you know, it feels quite comfortable to be able to go up there and, you know, learn to work with my nerves and my nervousness and try to talk about my life experiences and that kind of thing, you know, just, you know, talking about my caregiving experience, my, you know, journey as a comedian, you know, my observations. It feels good.
Yeah. And you've been able to see in real time. I mean, it's one thing, of course, for us to be able to watch something on television, right, and to have that but you've been able to see in real time with a live audience. What is that like for you? It's to be able to have that energy in the room and to feel them getting it as you're able to share your craft, to share your jokes with them. It's
great. I mean, the difference between comedy and, like, say, like, TV writing, you know, versus stand-up comedy writing and then performing it on stage, it's that you get the immediate feedback from people. It's like there's no better feeling than telling a joke and the audience not laughing. I mean, that uncomfortable feeling is probably the best. It's the worst in the moment, but when you look back, you're like, oh, that's hysterical. I mean, I've bombed pretty hard in my time, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think with, you know, comedy writing or, like, if you're a novelist or, like, a musician, you won't know if people are, like, vibing with it until it's performed or later. But with stand-up comedy, immediately you're going to find out if they love it or if the crickets are confused by it.
Yeah, exactly. Such a great point. You mentioned writing. I mentioned that in my introduction. I mentioned that you're a writer for Season 2 of this Fool on Hulu. What has that experience been like for you? It's one thing for you to be up on stage yourself. It is to be able to tell your own jokes. What is it like for you to be able to share your words with others and have them brought to life?
I mean, it's great to be, like, I was brought in on the second season of this fall to the writer's room, and it was simply amazing. I mean, it was a room full of people who I knew when I first started in comedy, and, you know, to be able to come together with a group of funny people to bring to life this new season has been, I mean, an experience of a lifetime. It's been so funny, so great. Yeah, it's different and amazing in its own way. I definitely see myself, you know, doing more stuff like that, hopefully in the future. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the first season of This Fool on Hulu, go check it out. It's simply amazing. Second season coming at you real soon.
Yeah, I want to talk to you a little bit more about that, and also in relation, I think, even to the tour it may tie in, because, you know, I think especially like if I looked at when I was prepping for this segment, I went back and watched some of the clips you had done that were online from 2020, and I think about where the country was, where the world was, quite honestly, and it's individuals like yourself using your gift the way that you have that kind of helped us to get through that. How does that feel? I know I'm not the only person that said that to you, but how does that feel to know that you were able to help people through a very challenging time and to give them something to laugh and smile about?
I mean, it was interesting because I think we were all going through the same shared experience. So to be able to talk about it, I think it was interesting. We dealt with it through comedy, and I think people really realize what a comedian's job is to kind of take something that's not the best feeling and kind of regurgitate it in a digestible, comedic way to kind of get you through it, or just laugh about it and kind of move on with this set experience. And I think the pandemic was that for us. I think it brought a lot of credibility, or I don't know exactly what the word is, but it definitely kind of was a time for comedians to shine. You know, everyone talked about like weight gain. It's like, I know I gained some weight during the pandemic. You know, going to the doctor for the first time over Zoom, what that was like is like, right. I don't know, it's like, you know, I ate so much during the pandemic, I went up in weight, went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, I got good news and bad news. I said, what's the good news? He's like, despite everything you've ate over the pandemic, you're not diabetic. I'm like, great. I'm like, what's the bad news? He's like, you're pre-diabetic. I'm like, well, that's one and the same. You know what I mean? I even asked the doctor, I'm like, are you diabetic? And he's like, no. He's like, all right, well, technically, you're pre-diabetic, too. He's like, what are you telling me? We're all pre-diabetic till we're diabetic until we're post-diabetic. It's like, I don't know. So it's like, right. These experiences sometimes can be a little gnarly, but, you know, when you look at it from a different lens, it's something I think we could all laugh at. So yeah,
and that's something I know people are going to be looking forward to. As we mentioned, the tour for 2023 is called Uncomfortably Comfortable. That's going to be going on. So I want to ask you about that because, I mean, even the title itself, I know, will get people talking. For people who will be able to purchase their tickets, Jesus, what do you hope when they come to the show? What do you hope they leave with?
I hope people leave with a good belly laugh. I hope people leave going, I don't know, I had muscles in my stomach because they hurt from laughing. Hopefully that's the case. But, you know, I just want people to come down and have a good time, laugh, and maybe walk away looking at something a little differently than they did before. That is my goal as a comic. My first goal is to make people laugh, and the second is to maybe change a little bit of how you see the world and you know, kind of see the silver lining and see the uncomfortably comfortable truths of the world.
Love that. Again, everyone, Jesus Trejo has been our guest. Jesus, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it. Let our audience know where they can go to stay connected with you and also for ticket information.
Absolutely. If you want more information, go to JesusTrejo.com. That's JesusTrejo. There you can find clips, pictures, and ticketing info for upcoming shows and events. That's JesusTrejo.com. You can find me on social media on Instagram at Jesus Trejo, the number 1. If you're into TikTok, the Jesus Trejo. I'm on Twitter as well, at Jesus Trejo. Thank you so much for having me. I hope to see you guys out there in 2023.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.